Do not listen to the critics. The Michael movie is great. I know that there's a disparity where the critics gave it a 38% and the fans gave it a 97%, but in this case, the fans are right. I don't know where they get these people from. I gotta think that if you were to ask the critics for their favorite film, they would cite some French black and white avant garde film where for 80 minutes you're staring at a bottle cap that does nothing, and then in the last 10 minutes the bottle cap explodes, and suddenly the film is a critique on capitalism. These are the people that nowadays, when you walk into a museum, they have made it so that the standard of art is a red square that a kindergartner could do. But their low praise of the film is actually a testament to it being very good, and the only higher testament is me telling you to go watch it. But to talk about the film, it starts off in his childhood as it has to. And I'm very grateful that they simply don't just do, say, 5 or 10 minutes to Michael Jackson growing up in Gary, Indiana, to being in the Jackson 5, but they dedicate a good 25 minutes of him as a child. You see him touring on the Jackson 5, you hear some of his great songs, and most importantly, you see his relationship with his father. And the film does not pull back any punches when it comes to just the terribleness and wickedness of Joseph Jackson. And Coleman Domingo, the actor who plays him, did a great job in that role. And then when it comes to Michael, I was blown away at the child actor because when you're playing Michael Jackson as a kid, you got to think, oh, they're just gonna dub over his voice. But not until I walked out of the theater did I find out that it's actually the actor singing all of these Jackson 5 songs. So if I were to close my eyes, I generally do not think I'd be able to distinguish with perfection between who's singing, whether it's the child actor or Michael Jackson back in the 70s. So he does a great job. Then fast forward, and we meet Michael Jackson in, like, I'd say, we meet him when he's like an adult, when he's like 20 years old. And we switch actors, obviously, to Jafar Jackson. And Jafar Jackson did an incredible job when nobody is complaining of nepotism. Because nowadays, when you're the son or daughter of any famous celebrity, you get cited out for nepotism, whether it's justified or whether it's not. I'm not here to make that point, except in the case of Jafar Jackson. Nobody's doing it because everybody knows that he was perfect for this role. He was able to mimic Michael's voice, singing, dancing with perfection. It's like eerie how good he is in this role. And then you see Michael Jackson up until I'd say he's like 30 years old. So that's when the film stops. And throughout this period, they do a great job with the soundtrack where they know that, when I come to a Michael Jackson movie, I want to hear the best hits. So there's no shortage of Michael Jackson songs. You got Beat It, Billie Jean, Thriller, all the ones you know, plus 5 other ones that maybe you heard like once in a supermarket and you remember how good it is. And you realize like if this was any other artist, it would be their number one song. But with Michael Jackson, he has like 10 number ones. So they play his greatest hits. Great job with the soundtrack. They understand that they're not just going to give 2 or 3 Michael Jackson songs, but they give at minimum 10. So very appreciative on that note. Really good direction. The film, in terms of what they exclude, because obviously it ends when he's probably like 30 years old. They don't include the entire like 2000 controversy with Michael Jackson, which I think is a good decision, very tasteful. If you're gonna make a Kobe Bryant documentary or biopic, you're gonna exclude the 2003 Colorado incident. So same idea went into this, and they only hint at Neverland, and they do a good job. Again, very tasteful. Also, I feel like as a casual Michael Jackson fan, like most people my age, because we weren't really alive to see him, you do learn a lot about him throughout the film. Like I had no idea about that entire Pepsi commercial burning his hair off. So it was very interesting, and you learn about a lot about Michael Jackson. And I think the film, at its highest, and why it should be commended, is that it does a great job of showing Michael Jackson to be the icon that he is. Like he embodies the phrase, the man, the myth, the legend. Because I'm sitting in this theater in Spain, I hear Michael Jackson songs like everybody else in the theater, and I got people from another country, 15 years, 20 years after his death, stomping their feet to a Michael Jackson song. And the film understands that we have to show Michael Jackson, if possible, to show how great he was, like how much people revered and to a point idolized him. And they show that with the fan interaction, with people literally fainting at his concerts. So they really embody Michael Jackson in a way to me that obviously I didn't grow up seeing, and they really revitalized that. So overall, great job with the film. I know it's a lot more fun when I get to give a scathing review, but there's really no critique of mine. I give it a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think the only thing that was maybe annoying was the character of Miles Teller is like Michael Jackson's lawyer. He probably has a bigger role than he should, but apparently the lawyer in real life was a producer. So I wonder if that had something to do with it. It definitely did. Beyond that, really great movie. Obviously, like I'm not a Michael Jackson super fan, but everybody knows his songs, so it's incredibly enjoyable to watch it. I have no doubt that you'll enjoy it, and if you watch it, let me know in the comments.